What is going on out there, Internet? I am here at CEO 2012, the conclusion. Finally, everybody's been set free, and I'm here with the man that did so, Spooky himself. How was the event in your eyes?
Well, I think it was a very enjoyable event. The peak viewership-wise was 26,000, which is actually the highest peak that we've seen outside of Evolution last year. It seemed that people here at the venue especially were very, very excited, and out on the internet, also, the response was very, very good. We had tons of high-quality matches, especially, seeing Mago and Daigo come all the way out here. Mago surprisingly good in KOF 13 as well. The local competition fared very well, and the crowd was definitely on their side. Team EG, very dominant. But, yeah, I mean, this has been one of the most high-level tournaments this year, play-wise, and that made it very exciting for us to produce.
Well, there's been a lot of tournaments here, and that's one of the things is I kind of want to give you this time. You talked about it on stream before, and you've talked about it, in different outlets. The road to EVO this year was tough. There were so many events, and you were out there doing everything that you do. After EVO, what's going to happen? Because I know you've talked about maybe taking a break and stepping down a little bit.
Well, after EVO, I want to have more of a focus on some personal projects. So because of that, I'll probably be covering less events. I mean, naturally, because it's been very difficult for us, especially this EVO season. Last year, the Evolution tournament season was very strenuous, and this year even more so because there are more EVO qualifiers than they were before, and we've been very much in demand because of it. So I really want to scale back because it's difficult for us to take on so many projects at once. And also, with this event, we were fortunate to have, for example, you guys helping us out. But with some of the other events, especially on the East Coast, there are not as many people that are into like production and camera work and things like that. So it's difficult to find people that can really assist and help us out with the stream. Knowing that, that kind of makes me want to tone things back a little bit. Hopefully I'm not like rambling, but at one point when I started, originally I thought the goal for Team Spooky and what I wanted to do was to become like, the extreme like top level broadcaster and have like a TriCaster and have like all this crazy equipment and get all these people together and have a whole team going. And since then I've really kind of changed my mind about that, and I've really looked at it and said, well, I enjoy the current level of what I'm doing, and I feel that what we do right now is the right way for what we're doing at Team Spooky. I mean, the events that we come to are very underground, but they're very exciting. They have a big community feel to them. You know what I mean? Sponsorship wise, things are starting to improve, but at the least, when you deal with certain types of sponsors, things can become a little bit difficult for me on the production end, because then it becomes, well, we can't do this one thing because we have this sponsor, or we can't do this other thing. And, these are all examples of reasons that I've wanted to scale back. And, I don't want to say stay at the current level that we're at, because I feel that if we continue to do what we do, of course, it'll still grow. People are really enjoying what we do. But, just a different goal. And, I want to spend, definitely plenty of time on fighting games and the fighting game scene. I love fighting games. Team Spooky is all fighting game players, of course. Nerd Josh, Min, Arturo, even the OG members are all, big fighting game players. But I want to do a few other things, and that's the real reason for why I'm scaling back. But it's not going to be like a quit situation. It's just we're going to be much more stringent about which events we do, and that hopefully will allow me time to feed into my personal projects.
Now, speaking of equipment, everybody, as soon as your stream comes on, everybody talk about that new camera that you got. You first introduced it at CZB SummerSlam. That thing is sick. It got amazing shots on it. Are you doing anything, like any more equipment or anything special you're bringing to EVO for the stream?
Well, Evolution obviously is not just my project. It's a project among several people. So I'm actually heading to NorCal this week to really grind down and figure out the setup and what we're going to use. In a perfect world, we would love to, of course, have the 5D. We'd love to have some improved lighting, which we probably will have there, because Martin Blake of Asonica, shouts to Martin, is going to be bringing some stuff over for us. So the main improvement that we want to make is that although the main digital camera is great and it's perfect for like what you see on the stage, it's not, because typically the venues are very dark, and because also, to get that great depth of field, obviously it's more difficult to capture the crowd. So at EVO we want to make sure that we also have some better secondary cameras than what we currently have, to make sure that the crowd can be captured much better. Also, we want to make sure that we can mic up the venue a little bit better. Normally, because everything is contained to my area, it's difficult to mic up the crowd and get like a lot of noise out of it. So we're thinking of maybe running something overhead or something like that. Just some basic ideas. Otherwise, we don't really want to overcomplicate things, because although although it would be nice to, you know, make things super crazy, you know, there are equipment limitations on our end, and in general with streaming there are limitations unless you're the biggest of the big, you know what I mean? So we still want to make sure that we can provide a quality, stable feed, and, you know, if certain features have to get cut because of that, then, you know, that's what we'll do.
Alrighty, last but not least, you were actually this year at UFGT 8. You actually did a panel, and a lot of the community showed up there and showed some love. And actually, just here, just a little bit ago, Jabali was giving out awards and actually gave you an award for being such a strong member of the community and doing what you do. How does it make you feel that, you know, knowing that you got the whole community behind you?
I mean, I'm happy that so many people like what I'm doing, but as an example, I always feel kind of weird when I get an award for what I'm doing, because to be honest, you know, I do profit from what I do in a form, you know what I mean? So it feels kind of weird to profit for what I'm doing, and then also have everybody say, oh, Spooky, I love you, you're the greatest, or whatever. So it feels a little awkward, to be honest. I mean, maybe that just makes me weird or whatever, but you know what I mean? But I'm glad that everybody's so happy with what I'm doing, you know what I mean? And that's what motivates me to continue, you know what I mean? If people weren't happy with what I'm doing, I probably would have stopped a long time ago and said, okay, I'm just going to stick to personal projects that I enjoy and do that. Because when Team Spooky started and when I was doing this originally, I wasn't covering these big fighting game events. It was like a bunch of guys in my apartment, and we were playing like Melty Blood and other games and stuff like that. And it was really a much smaller scale. It just turned out that because of some personal expertise that I have, people have really enjoy what we've been up to. So,
well, as always, it's an absolute blast to see you out in another event, and good luck going into Evo and everything else going forward after that.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Can I get a hug?
Yeah, of course, bro.
Yeah. Yo, esports.
Make sure to tune in to Boss Fight TV, guys. Show them some love. They helped me out a lot at this event, you know what I mean? And they're putting out these awesome productions for you. Also, their promos are really sick, so make sure to check the rest of them out on YouTube.